Welcome back to Roblox Files. If you spent any time on the platform prior to December 2017, you remember the official Roblox forums. Before they were shut down overnight, they were a chaotic hub of trading discussions, clan politics, and late-night mystery threads. Most of those threads were buried forever when the subforums were wiped. But digital archives occasionally resurface something that was clearly deleted for a reason. Recently, while searching through archived snapshots of the boards from late November 2017, just days before the entire forum system was permanently disabled, we uncovered an unlisted thread that stayed online for less than 15 minutes. It was posted by an active user named Vector Null. Here is his story, exactly as he wrote it. My name is Vector Null. If you checked the forums back in late 2017, you probably recognize me from the building showcases and technical help threads. I never cared about client myths, broken game IDs, or any of the creepypasta nonsense people spammed for attention. But what happened to me late one Tuesday night completely changed my mind. It was around 1 in the morning. The forum was mostly quiet, with only a few people bumping posts about the upcoming holiday event. I refreshed the main page and noticed a brand new post in the general discussion section with no title, just a blank space. The author account was created on that exact same day, with a default avatar and a random string of numbers for a username. The post had no explanation, no greeting, and no context. It only had 5 words: "Do not verify the skybox." And right below that was an unlisted game link. Normally I would have ignored it, assuming it was some cheap jump scare or a broken prototype. But the numbers at the end of the link were unusually short, suggesting the place was originally created years earlier, back in 2011. Out of technical curiosity, I opened the page. The game page was completely bare. The title was listed as Archive Node 11. The creator profile had no friends or badges, and the thumbnail was just a flat, solid gray square. The visit counter was at 0. It had not been touched in years, but the last updated timestamp showed it was edited just 3 minutes before the forum post went live. Against my better judgment, I hit play. The game loaded instantly, without the normal loading screen or green progress bar. My avatar spawned onto a classic baseplate. The gray studs stretched out in every direction under a pitch-black sky. The old top bar was visible, but the chat window, the player list, and the inventory bar were completely gone from the screen. I opened the network stats to check my connection. The ping was sitting at a flat 0, which should be impossible on a live public server. There was no background music, no ambient wind, nothing. Just the heavy, mechanical sound of my own character's plastic footsteps hitting the baseplate. I started walking forward to see if there was anything built on the map. After walking for about 30 seconds into the dark, the lighting engine began to glitch. The studs beneath my feet lost their normal shine and flattened into a dull, matte gray that seemed to swallow the light around my avatar. That was when I saw the house. Emerging from the fog was an exact replica of the classic 2008 starter house, the old brick house with the green roof and yellow windows that used to come pre-installed in Roblox Studio. But the proportions were completely distorted. The building was stretched out horizontally, making the doorway unnaturally wide and the ceiling uncomfortably low. I stopped my character a few steps away from the entrance. The yellow windows were not glowing normally. They were flickering rapidly, shifting between a faint amber and a pale, corrupted green light. I pulled up the developer console to check what background scripts were running. The log window opened, and it was being flooded with lines of raw code, updating dozens of times per second. At the end of every single line was a timestamp that matched my computer clock down to the exact second. Right below the wall of code, a bright red error message appeared. Warning: player Vector Null has initiated local thread. Entity count 2. My heart sank. The game was supposed to be completely empty. I closed the console and turned the camera toward the front door of the house. Standing just inside the shadows, staring right back at me, was another character. It was wearing the exact same clothes, the exact same hat, and the exact same face texture as my avatar. But its torso was turned completely backward, while its head stayed locked forward, looking directly through the camera at me. It was not using a standard idle animation. Its arms and legs were twitching violently, snapping into unnatural angles every time my avatar took a single step. I reached for my keyboard to press escape and leave the game, but nothing happened. The menu would not open.
My mouse cursor locked dead center on the screen, and through my headphones, the dead silence was replaced by a low, stuttering hum that grew louder every second. Then, across the bottom of the screen, red system text slowly typed itself out. You left the thread open on the forum. We are reading your replies. The moment that red text appeared, a cold panic set in. I slammed Alt F4 to kill the window, but the client completely ignored the command. It stayed locked in borderless full screen, pinned over my desktop. I tried pulling up the task manager on my second monitor, but my mouse was trapped inside the game window, unable to cross the screen boundary. In the game, the twisted copy of my avatar started moving. It didn't use a running animation. It glided forward smoothly, hovering an inch above the studs as it drifted out of the house and straight toward me. The closer it got, the louder that buzzing audio grew, distorting into a harsh, clipping frequency that sounded like a blown-out speaker. Without thinking twice, I reached down, grabbed the power button on my computer case, and held it down until the whole machine shut off. The monitor went dark, the fans died, and my room went completely silent. I sat there in the dark for a few minutes, trying to catch my breath. Technically speaking, Roblox scripts run in a safe sandbox. A normal game shouldn't be able to lock your operating system commands or read what you have open in a web browser. I tried telling myself it was just an elaborate trick using mouse lock and forced camera angles. I booted the PC back up. Windows loaded without issues, but the first thing I did was open my browser to check the forum. When I refreshed the board, the thread was completely gone. It was not locked. It was not marked as spam. It was just erased from the catalog. But because the tab was still in my history, I managed to open the original page. The author had edited the post while my computer was off. The link to the game was replaced with 4 short lines of text. Your session was interrupted. Display setup confirmed. Local connection verified. And right below those lines was an exact quote from a private message I had sent to a friend on the platform 3 days earlier. A trade offer that had never been shared on any public board. Whoever made that place was not just making a spooky horror map. They were exploiting a severe network vulnerability in the old 2017 platform architecture, using the game client to pull session tokens and read data from anyone who opened the link while logged into their forum account. I immediately changed my password, wiped my browser data, and went through my local game logs to see what had happened in the background. The log file showed hundreds of failed network pings, with the client repeatedly trying to send data packets to an unlisted external server right up until the second I killed the power. Less than 2 weeks later, the official Roblox forums were shut down forever. While the company stated it was done to modernize community moderation,
many of us who spent our late nights on those boards know the real reason. The back end was full of security holes, and people were finding ways to turn the platform against its own players. That was the story documented by Vector Null. Whether it was a piece of detailed community fiction or a rare account of a real security exploit in the final days of the forums, it remains one of the strangest posts ever recovered from that era. Did you ever experience anything unexplainable on the old forums? Let us know in the comments, drop a like, subscribe to Roblox Files, and be careful the next time you click an unfamiliar link.